What it do, Coach?
Man, I can't call it, man. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Arden. I say good morning back.
All right.
All right, good morning, Will. Just how are you feeling after that Texas Tech game? I know you had a really impressive catch in the corner of the end zone. What's the mindset this week, and how are you guys preparing for Utah?
Mindset is acting like that didn't happen. Just going into the next week, knowing that we got to go 1-0 every single week. Focus on Utah, getting down to the little details.
Hey, well, Tyler came into Denver Gazette. Just going into this week against Utah, what's the challenge against a team that's coming off a tough loss and is probably pretty hungry to get back on the right track? They've been into the losing streak here.
Yeah, obviously they're trying to right their season, so they're going to come in this game serious. They know what's at stake for us, and they know what's at stake for them. So I think it's going to make them play even harder, so just knowing that.
I'm Mr. Tiger, 24/7 Sports. In that game out in Lubbock, there were a lot of really good downfield blocks by receivers, offensive linemen. What does that say about this offensive group willing to make plays that aren't necessarily going to show up in the box score?
That just shows that we don't really have a group that has a me mindset. Everybody's trying to let everybody else eat and work for each other, and I think that started early in the summer and led in the fall camp, making an emphasis this year. I know I've made an emphasis when I look back at my take from last year to improve in the run game and block for my teammates, and so I think that's what our whole group's been doing.
Hey Will, Ron Scholes from Route 34. You and Shador have been automatic on those like moon balls in the back right corner of the end zone. How often is that something you guys work on in practice?
I mean, it's something we've been working on since summertime, PRP, 7-on-7, fall camp, all through the season. It just happens naturally every day. Catches after practice every day, so that chemistry's been built.
Well, Brian Alpha, Daily Camera. You guys seem in recent weeks to be starting to really impose your will physically, offensively and defensively against teams. Are you seeing that in practice, and kind of who sets that tone?
I think Coach Prime sets the tone starting every week, and then it's on the O-line and D-line. Really, they started up front. Everything starts up front, and then it just bleeds out to the rest of the team.
Hey Will, Pat Graham, Associated Press. You see enough quarterbacks in your career. I guess what are maybe some of the hidden things that make Shador?
His leadership qualities. He takes it very serious. He approaches it like a pro. He makes the right read every single time. He gets down to little details. If you don't come flat on the route, he's going to let you know if they need to come flat, or else you're not going to get that ball. So you're going to do those things to get that ball. So.
What's good, Will? Scott Parker, DMVR. I know you got goals to play in the league. How is kind of Colorado, the coaching staff, your teammates kind of helps you kind of prepare for that in your mind?
It starts with the coaches. Pretty much every coach just came from the league, so they know what it takes and how to get there, and then they bleed that into us, teaching us the fundamentals every day and not letting us. Coach Prime has the mindset: if you want to go pro, then be a pro, practice like a pro, approach the day like a pro. So that's what it is every single day.
Hey, well, now that we've had the opportunity to see some of these Big 12 atmospheres on the road, coming from the SEC, how do you think the Big 12 stacks up? Does it?
Nah.
Just going back quickly to Scott's question about the professional atmosphere here. I mean, you obviously had experience at another school. I mean, how different is it here, and how much of an advantage do you think it could be for the program going forward? Just the entire professional atmosphere that's here.
There's obviously the difference of just everybody having played in the league and having that experience. I think obviously it teaches you what it takes, and I think as for like just the program in general, if you want to be a pro, you got to get coached by people that have done it, coached by people who knows what it takes to get you there. So I think that helps in the recruiting aspect too.
No questions for Will.
Hey, how do you stay locked in, being that you came from Vanderbilt, being the #1 dude, then coming here and being patient for the ball to come your way? How do you stay like so locked in game days when you could be the second guy, you could be third guy?
I think it goes back to that unselfish mindset the whole group has. Nobody complains when things aren't going their way, because we know every day's not going to be your day. Every day you're not going to have 10 catches, 150 yards. That's just not how it's going to go, especially with a room this stacked. But just knowing that when your time does come, just make the play.
Will, when you guys were down 13-0 there, you punt the first 4 offensive drives. From your perspective, how did you see the poise of the group, and what kind of dug you out of the maybe slow start?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the start that we wanted, that we were looking for to begin the game, but nobody was really too worried about how we started. It was more just getting back on track, and we did that touchdown, that field goal before half, put us back on track, and then that third quarter really put us right where we needed to be. So we weren't really worried.
Hey, Will, just curious, how would you assess your season so far?
Obviously I've had moments of uncharacteristic things, but I think the thing I'm most proud of myself for is just sticking through it, prevailing through it, showing people that those things don't affect me long term and that it's just a blip.
Hey Will, Tony Casola, Buffalo's Bar. In preparing for this week, what have you guys seen out of the Utah defense and the defensive backs you'll be matching up against?
Pretty physical defense all around. They're gonna play man, they're gonna play 1 high, 3. They're gonna do it all, and they're gonna be relentless.
Hey Will, it seems like LeJounte is really just like the vocal leader for you guys as a group. What have you seen from him just kind of growing into that role throughout the season?
Yeah, I leave the vocal stuff to Tay. That's not really me. But obviously, you guys see it in the videos. You guys see it all the time. He's gonna be the one to get us going, hype us up and all that. And obviously, his play on the field reflects what he does outside.
Next question for Will. Thank you, Will.
Appreciate it.
Arden, Nikki Edwards, CU Sports Report. Take us through that last play of the game where you got the forced fumble and Shiloh picked it up for a scoop and score. What did you see, and why did people pause on the field and no one went for the ball other than the Buffs defense?
Honestly, from my standpoint, I was looking to finish, of course, but I honestly thought it was a QB hit. I couldn't tell. I think my teammates felt the same way, but after looking at the replay, of course, it ended up being a strip sack. But like I said, from my standpoint, I thought I had hit the quarterback. But I'm glad Shiloh was able to scoop and score, or he sealed the game. So.
Hey, Arden, Carlos Bryant, DSM. Just wanted to talk to you about Cherry Creek High School. It's playoff time here in Colorado. How much did that program impact how you play at the next level?
I feel like from a brotherhood standpoint, I feel like it helped me understand just the team sport aspect of football. And I feel like as close as we got through those 4 years, all the guys that came through, and just some of the legendary coaching, one, of course, Coach Logan, and then two, like some of the legendary players that's playing, of course. So I feel like from that aspect of just brotherhood and having a system, developing that from, here or even when I was at Missouri, like just continue to bring that along with me. I feel like that helped me for my success in college. So.
Hey, what's up, Arden? We've seen you, be vocal on social media, trying to recruit the program and stuff like that. Just why did you assume that rule, and what could players expect when they come here to play for Colorado?
Like I said, just from a brotherhood standpoint and building a system, like I said, we want to be successful and continue the success we're having. So I feel like the guys that are around the country that are having good success, or some of these like high-rated guys, or they have some talent, like I feel like they should showcase it here. And obviously, this is a big platform, big stage. Like this is the things that kids want. So why not?
Hey, Arden. Brian Halpable, Daily Camera. I talked to you when you first transferred here, and you were so excited to come back and be in your hometown, and your dad's team and all that. How much does it mean to you that you're making plays and making an impact on this team this year?
Like I said before, it's an honor. I said I'm one of the legacy buffs on this team, so I look at it a different way. Like with me wearing the CU emblem on my helmet and on my jersey, like I feel just knowing the history and just how much it means to the people before me. Like I take pride in what I do. So every time I step on the field, it's just like gotta make a difference. So.
How much dad's barbecue you get?
Oh, all the time. That's like every Sunday almost. So.
Hey, Arden, Pat Graham, Associated Press. 7 sacks against Texas Tech, I think 29 this year. What's changed? What's going well? Do they just come in bunches, or what's going on with that defensive line?
Like some of the NFL experience I've been around, they definitely say it comes in bunches. But I feel like just staying consistent and continue to keep rushing and figure out plans that help us create havoc and be successful and just influence on the quarterback. I think we all in our room from D tackle to D end, like all just continued to keep rushing and got on our bag and ended up making plays. So I think just from a standpoint of having 29 sacks now, we got to keep going, and it hadn't stopped. So.
I heard Adam Tiger 24/7 Sports, just kind of building off Brian's question there about you being a legacy buff. Your dad was obviously one of the H boys. I'm curious, just how many stories did you hear about he and his time at CU growing up?
I've been hearing those stories since I was probably about I'll say probably like 3, 4, like as early I can remember. So of course, I mean all the fun times, even off the field. Like I said, seeing the brotherhood that they have, like I was saying earlier, I appreciate that aspect of just college sports and college football, because like those connections, I feel like just it went a long way. I mean, they're 30, 40 years in, and they're still friends to this day. So. But like there's so many stories, and I've heard everything you could possibly think of on the field, off the field. So.
Hey, I'm Trent Finnegan, Scope Up Sports. Kind of building off Pat's question. You guys have 3 straight road games with 5 or more sacks. What is it about those hostile environments, especially Texas Tech, which is super hostile, that fires you guys up as a defense?
I feel like at this time of the season, it's more like it's a playoff environment. I mean, so that's our goal, to get to the college football playoffs. And you think about it, we're away from home. We'll be playing on national TV. So these are times where everything's just like magnified, I guess you could say. So I feel like during the weekend practice, we kind of look at it from an aspect of make sure we're just intent with our details and stuff like that. So when we do go in these hostile environments and on the road, like we know, like it just we're calm, cool, and collected, to be honest. So.
Hey, Arden, Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. Kind of building off that, what was it like in your room at the beginning of the season when you guys weren't getting those results? Were you guys encouraged? Did you feel like you were right there, or did you feel like you guys had a long way to go and now you've gotten there?
I feel like we just continue to stay consistent. We all kept encouraging each other, just trying to figure out moves that work for each individual, because like I said, honestly, each person in my room, no matter D tackle or DN, we all have different rushers. We all have different moves, different bags, and we're different body types and stuff like that. So we just figure out what works for us, and then we get into the game, or we have a certain a scheme or system that we're like inputting during the week. I feel like we just continue to keep working on it, and like I said, we just see where we got from there. So by this time in the season, it's now like we're okay. We know what we want, we know what we need to get, and what moves need to work. So I feel like it's just been working in our favor.
Hey Arden, Jack Carlett with Buffalo's Wire. Working with Coach Livingston, obviously a guy who has his roots, coaching the secondary, but how has he helped this defensive line find some success this year?
In a way, I feel like how we're attacking in our system, it creates a lot of havoc in the backfield, or how we get into the quarterback. I feel like Coach Livingston lets our D-line coaches do their thing and kind of coach. So I feel like we just going with the system and playing within the framework of the defense. So.
What's good, Arden? Scott Proctor, DNVR. You obviously had the strip sack late in the game. I asked Cam this on Saturday, but it seems like in the second half of the game, this defense, particularly this pass rush, like becomes something different. Like, what do you think that is late in games, second half of games, that kind of turns something different in this defense?
To be honest, I look at it like from a baseball standpoint. Like some of those first few pitches or series, you kind of have to see or the top of the inning, you got to see like, okay, how the pitcher's pitching, or like or I guess I can translate it to O-line, how he's setting, or what's the protections like and stuff like that. You got to get a feel for it, because I feel like by the time it's the second half, it's like, okay, now we got a routine going or something like that, and that's kind of how you get into those sacks, and they fall. Like, I mean, they come in bunches, like I said earlier. So it's just like you got to continue to keep rushing and like hitting at the mine until you get struck goals. So.
2 more questions, okay? And Brian.
Hey Arden, Coach Hilo was added to the staff late in the process. I've seen some clips of him breaking things down. What impact has he had, and how much contact do you guys have with him?
He's a very smart guy. Like I said, I think we all took heed to just how he's been coaching and just motivating the guys, all like no matter what position it is. And I think everybody's just been listening to ear and just trying to figure out what works and how we can be successful on the field, to be honest. So I said everybody's been locked in, to be honest. That's how I look at it.
Taj Brooks averaged 4.4 yards per game. He kind of got going in the fourth quarter, but up until then, through 3 quarters, you guys did a really good job stopping him. Kind of week by week, what goes into the game plan around guys like that, specific running backs, and stopping the run overall?
I mean, it's a red letter, honestly. We're looking at it as, I mean, he's an impact player, and he's a pretty good player, and he ended up getting the record for the school. But we also honed in on during practice to make sure we find him, and or at least who was scouting for him. But like I said, we found the guy, and I feel like we did that and turned it over to the game. So for the most part, we did our job. But like I said, we got to continue to keep doing that no matter who we play. So.
Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. Going back to the Cherry creep question, if you don't mind. Are you tight with your old quarterback, Julian Hammond?
That's
If
actually
you're
one of my best friends. Like, you know, he played basketball. We played basketball growing up together too. So I played for Chauncey Billups Elite and everything too. So like through AAU, like it's kind of crazy. Like, most of my friends are basketball players, but yeah, like I talk to him all the time, almost every day. So that's one of my good guys for sure.
I just want to ask you, you guys were not known as being real physical last year, but it feels like there's a big difference in that right now in the last several weeks. Are you feeling that? And if so, where do you think that's coming from? That you guys are just being a more physical, aggressive team?
Honestly, our three coaches has just emphasized on us just being physical and playing fast. So I feel like the guys throughout the weeks, we just continue to play hard, and actually it's been paying off. That's really what it is. But I feel like we're still climbing up the mountain, and we want to get to the top. So like I said, we just got to continue to stay consistent with playing hard and playing fast. So playing physical, like it separates us. So I mean, obviously coming from the SEC, I know what it takes. So that's actually some physical ball, like it has Will, like different. So
Thank you, Arden.
for sure.
Thanks, Arden.